Hi, Dexter fans. Welcome back to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. Today we'll talk about the finale episode of Dexter Original Sin. It's called Code Blues. I like that little twist on it. Like, he's having blues about his code. You know, the code blues.
I was trying to figure out.
Like
Good job.
that.
I didn't even catch that.
Oh,
Yes.
that was
okay.
so fun.
I get that.
Okay, well, let's begin with Brian. That's how this episode begins. So Brian is recalling, with his therapist, the first time he was taken away from Dexter, and then, which is after he just saw his mom chainsawed to death, hacked up, and then the second time was when he was taken away from Harry's home because, he got a little, violent with the baby Deb, right?
It was so really weird to have that voiceover, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To hear that, I was taken aback. I was like, who is talking at first? And then, of course, it quickly made sense.
Yeah.
And then I kind of felt sorry for him, which never thought I would say.
I know. That's like, there's a lot of dilemmas like that. You're like, how do I feel bad for this person? But
the whole montage.
Look what he went through.
All the montage, like a lot of it wasn't, like he got locked in a closet after having been locked in a shipping container. And so, yeah, you can see why he has PTSD and lashed out.
Yeah.
And like why he like stabbed the, foster brother with the fork.
Who
like,
took his food.
Yeah, like I can totally, like, I felt for him. He's a victim of, like, a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went into survival mode, too,
Yes.
right? Which is all he would know how to do,
Yes.
right?
And he didn't have someone to help him, like, nurture it or shape it the way that Dexter had.
With
So
Harry.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm feeling sorry for Brian.
It's like literally on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes from foster home to foster home, and then he goes to a mental health facility, and then he feels like his one constant is with this nurse Raoul, right? He's there, he like grows up there, and then we find out that nurse is selling his meds, and he just all he cares about is he wants to see Dexter.
And he wanted to take the meds to get better.
I know.
That's messed up.
So he's now back in their present day, and he's saying to his therapist, like, I really need to see Dexter, and I feel like he's just like, I just don't think that's a necessary idea.
Yeah.
So he attacks his therapist, and
That
we
was
find
not
out
okay.
this is the crime scene. We find out he's the
Which, I mean, okay.
Serial killer.
When not that there's obviously there's Dexter, he has a code, and there's people who, like, deserve to die.
I know.
Therapist?
Come on.
He had Raoul stole his meds, okay. The social worker, I could see the logic, but for the therapist, it was a bit much.
It's just like you just didn't hear what you wanted to hear.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. But yeah, then we can tie together. Never did I think that this whole like crime spree was at the hands of Brian.
Yes.
So that was cool.
Crazy how it's all tied together.
I know. Okay, so Harry is visiting Bobby, and Deb is there to visit. And that's her godfather, is that right?
Yeah, I
love that.
I did like Deb in this episode because she was like more chill, like more reasonable.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'll talk about Deb later. I have some things I need to say about Deb, but I'll wait. Okay, so while he's visiting Bobby, LaGuardia pulls him aside and he tells him about a dismembered body on the roof, and it's that caseworker, right? We already know that social worker caseworker, and it's just like Brian's mom, right?
Yeah.
We know Brian did it because we saw it in the previous episode. So Harry sees Brian up there on the roof, and he's like, okay, he must be stopped, right?
Yes.
And Brian's just like, I just want to see Dexter. That's why I did all these crime scenes, and then I can see him. That's the only reason why, but he's
But he realized that Dexter comes because that's his job now, so he's like waiting.
Yes. And then we find out that the other victims were like the kid that he stabbed with the fork, the kid that locks him in the closet. So this is all like, it's all coming together. Anyway, and then we also find out that he actually did see Dexter when Dexter was at that lunch outing with the rest of the people at Miami Metro, and he's the guy that said, "Is anybody take it? There's a seat. Take it."
Isn't that crazy?
That's so cool. They did that.
I cannot believe that this series became about Brian.
Yeah. What?
I'm a little, like, taken off guard. Like, I was like, oh, we're going to learn a little bit. Like, here, there's a little bit. And then I was like, oh, my God. He's been there the whole time.
He's been there the whole
time. Like, central.
Yeah. But Harry's like, you need to let him go, okay? And he knocks him out. He knocks Harry out. He's like, again, I don't want to hear this. But then he does leave a note in, I think, blood, maybe Harry's blood. It says, you're right. So I think he's saying that, right? Mm-hmm. He's saying, like, yeah, you're right. I do need to let him go.
Yeah, right.
For now. Anyway, so Dexter, back to where he was following Spencer in the last episode. So Spencer drives to a very large ship.
Yeah, like a ship.
Is it abandoned? Yeah. What? How did he just have access to the ship?
Like, who would go?
Whose ship is this?
How would he know that was available?
Yeah, exactly. And he's been there for a while, right?
Yeah.
His son's been there for a while, his son.
Yes.
And then, of course, Dexter follows him there. A fight ensues. Mm-hmm. And then Spencer turns on a valve that starts leaking water. Not leaking. It's like gushing water
gonna die.
Into Nikki's captive room.
That was crazy. It was like a crazy like escape room challenge type thing, but real life.
Yeah.
I was so disturbed by that whole thing.
I know. And he's like telling Spencer, like, how could you do this to your son? He's like, is he my son? And I'm like, yeah.
Even if he's not, it
doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah.
He's obviously crazy.
Oh, yeah. So Spencer gives Dexter the option. He's like, okay, well, come get me or save the kid. He saves the kid.
Yes, good for Dexter.
And you can see why he has a soft spot for kids because of what he and his brother went through when they were kids. So I get that.
I love that.
So then Spencer, who's just nuts and on a rampage, breaks into his ex's house and attacks her husband.
He didn't die, right?
I don't know. Good question. I don't think so. He's just like thrown down the stairs. Yeah. But his real mission is like, he tells her, I want to kill you. Yeah. Like he's there to kill her. Yeah. But then Dexter comes in, saves the day, injects him, and he carries out his ritual on the boat.
Yes.
And, you know, all the pieces are fitting together now. Like how this all started.
A lot of blood all over that boat, though. I was like, is that... Like, yeah, because he didn't really like lay all the plastic. I was like, are you going to be able to get all that out?
True. Yeah.
Just like spraying it with a low power water.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure, I guess, we know he figured it out, but.
Yeah, and his body disposal method, it begins there. Yeah. And, then, I mean, basically, they don't know. I mean, no, Nikki's going to tell that was him that did it, but they're never going to find him. They're going to think he's on the run.
Well, what I didn't like about that is that they all would maybe live in fear for the rest of their lives that he could come back. So, but there's nothing really Dexter can do to remedy that because...
Well, he has to, like, get his fix, right?
Yeah.
And who better than that guy? But also, you're right. That's...
And Spencer had already seen him, so he couldn't really, like, decide, I'm not going to kill him after all because... It would be a really messy
it had to happen that way. Yeah, exactly. So all this is hunky-dory, everything's great, and then he is offered a position at Miami Metro Homicide Division, so like this is where the birth of that started officially. So they're out there to celebrate with the fam bam. Got Harry and Deb and him and Dexter. And anyway, super cute, super fun, lighthearted, right? Yeah. Like she does end up saying that like she was offered I guess a scholarship to Florida State University, but instead she wants to work for she wants to go to the Miami Metro Police Academy.
Yes.
Yeah. After seeing everybody
working together, like how they came together for Bobby, for him. So I love that.
Yeah.
I like seeing how that all played out.
Earlier on, she did apologize to Sophia, said she should have been there for her a little bit more.
I like that too.
All is well, right? And then, but no, we have Brian lurking in the shadows, and he's just always going to lurk. Okay, so my thing with Deb. It's the actress who plays Deb. I said in the beginning of the series that I didn't really understand the casting because, like, the guy who plays Dexter is so spot on, it's ridiculous. I mean, in this actress's defense, Christian Slater doesn't look like the Harry.
No.
At all. No. But, and you know what, I don't even know if he acts like the Harry. I don't know. Either way.
It's hard to say because we only really got him in flashbacks.
We didn't get him that much because he killed himself. He dies right away, right? Like in season 1 or 2? Yeah. Anyway. And yes, we really just got the flashback. So, but something about, like, I feel like, and I'm sure this actress is doing the best she can with what she is given. She is definitely delivering the lines the way Deb would in the younger version. But I think they missed the mark with this. I don't know.
Yeah, the casting.
Yeah. I just don't see Deb in her. I don't see it at all. And, like, I know, Christian Slater too, but we had Deb through the whole series pretty much until her demise.
Know her really well.
Yeah, so it's like, you really, like... like felt like she was a part of the...
I get you, because even like with the more peripheral characters, right, they're so spot on.
Angel?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous.
Yes. So I get it. I didn't have as much problems with her, but yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I just wish that, because that just took me out of it a little bit. Otherwise, I would say this is like the close to perfect series that I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah.
Everything. The story was so fun. It was captivating. It was fun to watch. The guy who plays Dexter, holy crap.
Wow, so good. So satisfying.
The eyes, the voice, the looks, the cadence, everything is so good. And it's not this actress's fault.
No.
I'm just saying it takes me out of it a little bit. Yeah. That would be my only complaint, really.
Yeah. But I get it. Like, we got everything that we hoped for. I think, and more. You know, because just like getting all that history and then added like layers of stuff.
They did such a good job with this.
Really, really good.
It could have gone. Prequels they're not always very successful. This was so good. Oh, I have to say, Bobby's alive, by the way.
Yes.
I love when Bobby got his hero's discharge hero exit. Anyway, and I love a good group clap.
There could be a season 2.
I think so too.
With more of the Brian stuff, right?
Yeah.
100%. I feel like it's set up to be that way, and I think it was successful. So
even if there wasn't, though, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it could go
they
either
go
way.
On top.
Yeah, I feel like you can go either way with it, and I'd take it. If you want to give it to me, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But we got Resurrection coming.
I was gonna say, but we'll be all right. Yeah. We'll have a fix.
With Michael C. Hall. Like, he's actually gonna be there.
Yes.
And like the cast is being revealed. There's like Uma Thurman.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I think so. Peter Dinklage.
Oh my
God. So it's gonna be I can't wait.
I hope it's the same writers and creators because they nailed it.
Yeah.
They pretty much nailed it.
Yeah,
on this
I'm
one.
so excited. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching. We have plenty of other shows that we're reviewing. White Lotus, Wheel of Time Season 3, Severance.
Yes.
So we'll see you around. Thank you. Bye-bye.